Morning. Today we are starting the morning off with a little bit of bush hogging. So I mentioned a few videos back that Mrs. Brown's having a Halloween camp out. It's in a couple days. So I came over early before we got here. I'm gonna go mow for 20-30 minutes. Then we got trucks to dump. There's not much dew on. Hopefully we can get an early start in the beans. But we're also spreading wheat, turbo tilling wheat, and one of us is going after a load of fertilizer. So much to do, and I'm freaking mowing. Happy wife, happy life. So we got Bud helping us today. Him and BJ are dumping the trucks we loaded last night. And I gotta go help Dad load up our spreader, because that's how we're getting our wheat on the ground. Gotta help him get that calibrated. Dad's grabbing the floater. We're going to use this for seed tender, because it has scales. And that's how we're going to load the floater. With the scales, we'll be able to calibrate the floater, make sure we're getting on the right rate. That's the main thing that worries me about using the floater, is our rates might not be as accurate as they were if we were using a planter or a drill. But we did some of this last year, and it worked out pretty well. And you know, right now we don't have anything else to plant the wheat with, so that's what we're doing. I guess we better get some seed put in the floater. And for that, we're gonna need a forklift, like this one. Dad just took off, headed on over to the field. He's got 2,500 pounds of seed, so one box in the floater. It's going over with that already in there. Basically, that one box should do 19-ish acres. We're just going to say 20. We got 4 other boxes, so we have about 100 acres worth of wheat seed. So here is the field that we're going to calibrate this thing in. Might as well do it in a field that no one can see from the road. That's not really our MO. We usually do it right along a highway. But I'm gonna move this tractor out of the way. Might be the only time I get to drive it. BJ seems pretty fond of it. I'm gonna go over here to the bins this morning and check our dryer. It quit drying corn yesterday because we were dumping beans, so we got like a couple dryer loads in the holding bin, so we'll go ahead and get it fired up and then open up the drive-through. So we're gonna be dumping probably 3,000, 4,000 bushel beans here today. Door's a little dirty. Make sure our door goes up, because the stacks on the semi will clip it if it isn't all the way. See how that door's bent? I don't know how that happened. Do a thunder wagon up while we're waiting. Thing's pretty handy, but it's not very handy if you don't have fuel. So here we can see where Dad's been spreading. So he will double spread this. There'll be no rows or anything to it really when that Turbo Max incorporates it, but it doesn't matter with wheat. Wheat kind of tillers out anyways, and really in some ways you get a little bit better frost protection by no rows. According to our grounds, it'll hold in heat a little bit better. So I don't know, that's what he said. I think we're calibrated. Go get there. Won't really know till you do 18 acres. Yeah. Well, BJ's not here and this field's done, so I'm gonna hop in the Turbo Max. Now he'll probably get here as soon as I make one round, but we're at least going to turbo till for a second. So Dad needs a little bit of help getting loaded with more seed. BJ just got here, so I'm sure I just lost that job. It's about time to start combine anyway. The sun finally came out. Dad's still spreading. I am going to empty this grain cart. We still got beans on it from last night. All the trucks are empty now, so I got a truck I can dump this on. Get it dumped. And then it'll be about time to start. So one thing that kind of sucks about spreading the wheat on instead of planting it, just takes so much time. So we've got to spread it. We're double spreading it, so that's 2 trips across it to spread it. And then we've got to double turbo max it. That's 2 trips across it. So 1 30-acre field is like planting it 4 times, in my opinion. I mean, with the spreader, you're going pretty fast, but it's still, you're using more fuel, more resources, more time, and we don't have any of those. So if we only had 50 acres of wheat every year, this would be a great option. But we're trying to put out right around 400 this year, so it's gonna be slow.
Okay, here we are spreading wheat today. Don't have a drill yet, so they come in. So we're gonna spread with the floater and the turbo tilled in. They say that'll work. So that's what we're doing. Double spreading it. BJ goes over twice with the turbo till. Just more work, takes more time, and that's about our other choice. Good old COVID got everything screwed up. Can't get nothing. There you have a seat, got that field done, so we're going to fill up. Got the tender here, the unversed tender. Got the 4 boxes on it. So we got 2 boxes left, so we're going to go ahead and put them in.
Time to go dump this truck. By the time we get done dumping this truck, Dad will be done spreading. Him and I will probably start moving combines. BJ's going to run the Turbo Max for a little while. Basically, once we get the wheat spread, it's pretty important that we get it turboed in. If a flash rain would pop up and start to germinate that wheat, you're no longer able to turbo it in. You turbo it, you're going to kill it. So we don't really like to leave it spread and then walk away from it. So first morning, we're only doing 50 acres. We'll probably make this the morning routine and maybe even the evening routine until we get done. Truck's dumped.
Brian's moved the gleaner out of the way. We had to put some def in it, and the fuel's good on it. I'm pulling mine up here to Lexion, the fuel up. Blew my radiator out. That big air compressor back of that Thunder Wagon's pretty daggone handy. That's about the best thing we could have bought. Put in that. Because we don't have a big compressor over here, just a small one, and it takes a lot of air to blow this thing off. Because he parked his truck in our way there, didn't he? Anyway, we'll get fueled up and get started.
Walk over here and check out how we're incorporating this stuff. So there's definitely going to be still some on top, but we want it, the wheat, kind of blended in. So there's a wheat kernel, there's some more. So it's definitely mixing it. It's all going to be different depths, but this is wheat, not corn, so that's not a huge deal. I think we'll be fine. All right, ready to roll out. So BJ's going to take the head. Dad is still fueling up. By the time Dad gets ready, I'll have a nice spot carved out for him to park. We're going to hook up on the road, and then BJ's going to come back here, finish turbo till, and then eventually bring the grain cart and a semi over. Power ladder, power ladder. So I don't know why, but BJ pulled up a bit far. This might get saucy, guys. I don't know if he's going to make her back here. First off, backing up wagon sucks, but backing up a 4-wheel steer cart's less than ideal. Okay, we got the head on. End up having to come up to the next driveway because, yeah, we just weren't going to make any progress. So maybe some can back 4-wheel wagons better, header wagons. I can't, neither can BJ. I ain't even going to give him that much hard time about it. So Dad had to go let the dogs out. Seems odd that I fed him lunch, now the dogs need out. But anyways, I'm going to ride over with BJ. Need to get the grain cart over here. These beans are good, so I'm going to be full here pretty shortly. We've harvested 2 acres and half full, so that's good. Dad's done letting the dogs out. Time to get back to canning beans. So one thing I really dislike about the Agco Draper head, it has nothing to do with the Crary, it has nothing to do with the Gleaner, it's just that head design really knocks over beans on the ends of it. Like this is one pass, just seems like it knocks over more beans than the MacDon did. It skins the ground better, but I don't know about that knocking over bean stuff. Looks like Kayla and Livy are here for a ride. It's always nice when the kids want to ride. So right now my wife is basically a single mother. Like I see the kids first thing in the morning, And if we're lucky, I see them right at night. So, you know, you gotta take any chance you can to get some family time in.
Her baby, Dad, because she knows she will be.
Oh. Baby, you wanna go for a combine ride?
Yeah.
Well, I got over and getting started here. Beans, I don't know, we got to, for some cause or another, I'm not sure what he's done, so that's gonna mess up the road shut off.
He was on talking to me, Brian, so what do you need? You wasn't talking to Evan.
When you were talking to BJ on the phone, you were holding the mic down on the radio, and you were talking to me as well as whoever you were talking to on the phone.
Sorry.
There you can see the prairie just blowing those little beans right into the header, whereas without this, they'd probably just fall right off the front.
I got the first dump here on this field. Brian's over there coming. Pretty good beans. I want to shout out to a goodie bag here that Lansing Insurance Company sent us. They're the company we got all of our farm insurance, auto, trucks, and everything with. Rick Lansing and good guy, Adam Hamlin, great people to work with. Just want to thank everybody for the goodie box. They sent 3 up there. Each one of us got one, so that keeps going with the harvest for a while.
Olivia, you see that dust cloud over there? That's Uncle BJ.
Hey, what's back here? What's in there?
Yes,
Yeah, that Pappy.
yeah, I took 2 puppies.
Ride's over. Olivia, did you have fun? Yeah. Bye guys, have fun. BJ's still wheating, so dump this grain cart. It's pretty well loaded. Yep, she's full. Yeah, you gotta get closer. Last pass of this 45. We got 15 acres on the other side of the semis. BJ just brought a truck over. That 15 acres should be at least another 1,000 bushel, and then we'll be done here. Big Mike's getting off work. He's going to dump a truck for us. Bud had to go to his day job, so right now we're just about full up. But while we're moving farms, Big Mike's going to dump some trucks, and that should help catch us up. And then I would say when we get all the trucks empty, we'll probably just load them for the night. The farm we're moving to, it's a split farm, so that stuff's going to town. It's the same farm we did the corn at last week. We're going back to do the beans this week. Hopefully they are as good as these ones. This field's going to average close to 75, 76. That's by far the best beans we've ever had here. By probably at least 7 or 8 bushel, which doesn't sound like much, but when you look at percentages, that's like, 10% of the yield. So, pretty good stuff. So my sample's still not as clean as I was expecting. I've been tinkering with it. I remember last year when we demoed that combine, I know I was getting it cleaner then. If anyone's running a gleaner, I've got my top screen at 17, my bottom at 14, my air at 5.5. My cylinder is cranked all the way up, or my rotor speed, it's at like 520, and my concave's at 0.4. So if anyone's got any suggestions, I'm open to them. One thing this combine does still have, it has the all-crop sieve, or chaffer, or whatever you want to call it, screen. We have a bean and corn chaffer coming for it. We just haven't got it in yet. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how that does for it. The all-crop, it's kind of a catch-all. It'll do corn and beans, but for optimal performance, the corn and bean chaffer, I think's gonna be where it's at.
Well, he's going pretty good until something got in section. Bent that section down. I got ready to tear apart. Along the railroad here, first round, looky what I found. Yeah. That's what got in the section cutter bar. Thank God didn't go in the combine. Come from the railroad. I don't know, somebody threw it over in the field here, because it ain't along the edge, out in the field ways. So I'll take this Take these off. Can't get it all the way without moving the cutter bar. There's that. Put that one in. Right back over. Put these back on. Okay, tighten these back up. Well, I better get you. I just about forgot you there. I don't know how that camera goes through the combine. Probably wasn't hold up very good. See if we can pick up some of this without getting it all at once. Price of beans, there's a couple dollars worth of beans there. That's probably $10 worth of beans. A few dollars.
I think he's got more power than us. So that Prairie's definitely robbing a little bit because I could outrun him last year when we demoed the gleaner. But we are pegged. Don't want to cross streams. Okay, so it's moving time. Here's the plan. BJ's taking the grain cart over to the bins. There's a half empty truck there. We got half a load on the cart. We got to get it off there. So the place we're going, that grain belongs to different people. Dad's going on the combine. I'm taking his head. And then once we get his head dropped off, he will come with me. I'll take the gleaner and he'll take the other head. And then Big Mike's dumping a truck. Someone's gonna have to shuttle him back here to get those two trucks. And then once those two trucks are empty, we gotta get them moved up to the next field. So at the end of the day, we need everything at the next farm. Oh, I thought this was hooked up. Not even close, okay.
Wish they trim the trees here. I'm just about had to get over there, rubbing the trees. Neighbor over there, oh, shell corn looks like our old trailer. It's the trailer we sold. We shouldn't have sold, but we did.
Move the trucks over, then we'll come back for that. I mean, it would make more sense to keep the combine rolling, but right now we're full on every truck, so there's really not a whole lot we can do until we get some trucks dumped. This looks like a meeting of the minds.
Yep.
Power ladder.
Yeah, we'll get started here. What is it? 5:30, so 21 acres here. We'll get this done tonight, hope. So just getting things moved up here, it takes a while. So we're getting started. Brian's right behind me there. He's looking up now. This field real kind of sandy, and this corner over here, this point road really sandy. Don't usually raise much here. I guess they took some of the topsoil off years and years and years ago for the railroad. So this side here is pretty weak, really sandy. Really hardly topsoil. So it's looks like they've taken a second growth, kind of died, and we got some rain. I don't know. Green stems in and pods, but you know, it's going pretty okay. I'm just cruising along 4 miles an hour. Hardly taking much power. Not real good right here. There's 48, 50 right through here, but going back here on over there, they'll get up in the 70s. So that's pretty good for this field here. Usually, if we get 50, 55 bushels off this field, we're doing good.
So we're dumping sitting still. The last round I was over here, I wanted to check my weight since it was the first load of the field, and I was off by 1,000 pounds. So I'm doing a calibration load, want to maintain that accuracy. There's no need in thinking you're getting good yields if you're not actually getting those. That wind system is just pushing them little beans right in there. Pretty cool to see. So I'm definitely really starting to like the wind system. Every day I use it, the more I like it. I feel like in double crops, this thing's really going to shine. And them tall, stringy beans, I mean, they're going into that head regardless, just because they're, you know, really tall and stringy. But anytime we find like a smaller patch of beans, like these beans here aren't super tall, and I'm able to keep my reel completely out of the beans, and that wind system is basically helping push them into the cutter bar. the more you have your reel, which that's the reel, the thing spinning around, the more you have it in the beans, the more you are losing beans. Because you're hitting them with that reel, it might knock them loose. So keeping your reel out of the beans, that's a good thing. Another one bites the dust. So we got to unhook. I don't know if we'll move or what we're going to do. All the trucks are full. We got one to dump still. I don't know if Big Mike's dumping or not. Dad might just send him home. We got a 95-acre bottom we're going to do tomorrow. I don't know if I doubt we start on that tonight, but that's tomorrow's plan. But maybe we'll move there, I hope. So we each have about 120 bushel or so in the grain tank. So we're kind of waiting on BJ. Here he's coming. Since we can't get a semi over this railroad for this field, we have a cutaway through that wood line. We have the trucks parked over there. So and beans is not bad. Corn, it makes it really slow. But we're just waiting on BJ, and then I think we're going to cut through the wood line with the combines to get to the next field. I can definitely tell Dad's stubble just a little bit higher. Whether or not we're leaving any beans because of it, not sure. Some good looking beans. Alright, start moving stuff back to the building. So I'd love to keep harvesting, but it is getting dark pretty quick. And especially down here in the bottoms, you never know what's going to be washed out into a field. So kind of understandable why Dad wants to wait till morning to open these fields up. But man, I would like to keep going. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Don't forget to thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and we'll see you in the next one.